Hi everybody, this is Boogass Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the Star Wars The Black Series Glavis Ringworld Mandalorian figure. So before we take a look at the Mandalorian, let's take a look at all of the accessories that he comes with. So first up, he comes with his knife. His knife is sculpted really well. I do wish the handle would have been just a little bit bigger though, because it just slips out of both hands. So that's unfortunate that it couldn't have been just a little bit wider, that way he could hold it better. One thing that I absolutely love about this figure is you can actually store the knife in his boot. He has a little slot that it fits down into, and it sticks in there very well. It's a very secure fit, so that's definitely how I'm going to leave it. It's very awesome that you can actually store that in his boot. Up next, he comes with this pistol. It's sculpted really nicely. I love that the handle actually has sculpted wood grain to it. That looks really good. It's also done in a very nice gunmetal color. Of course, you can store this on the holster on the right side of his hip. Up next, he comes with the Darksaber, and the blade looks very nice. It's definitely an upgrade from the first Darksaber that we got, where the outside of the blade, I think it was translucent. I actually thought this was a reuse, but it's actually brand new, at least the bottom half. The bottom half actually has a hook, so you can hook it to the back of his belt. So there is the Darksaber hooked onto the back of his belt right there, and that looks very awesome. The hook is kind of tiny though, so it might drop off if you pose the figure around very much, but I think it's very awesome that you can actually hook the Darksaber onto the back of his belt there. And finally, he comes with his jetpack, and this is sculpted really nicely and done in a very, very nice silver color. I actually thought this was reused as well, but nope, it's actually brand new. You can see that the sculpture is just slightly different. This old jetpack is a little bit bigger. You can see this piece right here is a little bit taller. So yeah, the differences are very slight, but it is a brand new piece, and I appreciate that Hasbro gave that to us. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the head sculpt. Hasbro did a phenomenal job on this helmet. It looks very, very nice. Just like with the jetpack, it's done in a very sleek silver color, some nice gloss there for the visor. That looks really good. And if you look on the underneath, there's actually a chin sculpted under it. It's not painted or anything, but they actually did sculpt that, and that really surprised me. Among the many improvements on this figure is actually having a cloth cape, and it looks really good. I like how it has the tattering there at the bottom, and you can actually get him to have this on while he has the jetpack on. On the previous figure, this looked so ridiculous. They gave you the jetpack, but you couldn't actually put the cape with it because it's this vinyl type material. So yeah, I'm so happy that Hasbro finally gave us a fabric cape for this. It works so well. Of course, you need to fiddle with it and get it laying right underneath the jetpack there. But yeah, that looks really awesome, and it's so much better than this one. If you take the jetpack off, you can actually see where there's a hole sculpted for his rifle. So I'm going to assume there's going to be another version of this Mandalorian that comes with his rifle. The belt on this really surprised me because the belt and this lower piece are all attached. It's one piece. You can see it shifting up and down right there. And it's sculpted really nicely. It's got some really nice texturing to it, some like leather texturing, some nice touches of silver painted on. That looks very, very nice. This figure also has butterfly joints, which really surprised me. You get the touches of blue on his gloves, but as you can see, this left side went way up. It missed its mark just a little bit. On the right side, it went right where it's supposed to, but yeah, on this left side, you can see this end of it is pointed up just a little bit. The leg armor is sculpted very nicely, and on the right side where it's gunmetal, it has some nice silver paint over top of it. That looks really good. Even the pants have texturing to it. Hasbro really, really surprised me with this figure. It's stunning having it in hand. There is the back, not much more going on there. The left knee pad is actually a separate piece, so it doesn't hinder the articulation. I feel like this was meant to be silver. I don't think that's painted the right color, it's just done in blue. But that's a small gripe. The rest of this figure is painted very nicely. So yeah, the sculpt to this thing is crazy, just like the articulation. So now let's go ahead and go over that. Let's go ahead and take this out before we do that. So he has a ball-jointed head and neck that can look up all the way. He can look down all the way. He can move his head side to side and all the way around. He has shoulders that can move all the way out. These shoulder pads are actually attached underneath the joint right here, so you can move that all around and it won't hinder that. He has very nice butterfly joints, single jointed elbows that can bend in that far, a hinge on the right wrist that can move up and down and spin side to side, and a regular swivel on the left side that can move up and down and side to side. A ball jointed diaphragm that can move back very slightly, He can crunch forward very slightly. He can't quite move side to side. You can hear the noise that joint is making. I might need to pop it apart and sand it down a little bit, that way it's smooth. But yeah, mine doesn't want to move at all there. He can just about do a complete split. He can kick forward just about all the way. He can kick back all the way. He has a swivel at the thigh, single jointed knee that can bend back that far. It can also move side to side here. And he has swivel ankles that can move down all the way, up all the way, and a very nice ankle rocker. So now, let's do some size comparisons. So first up, here he is next to the previous version we got. I think this is the previous version. Hasbro has done a lot of Mandalorian figures. But yeah, this new one is definitely the definitive Mandalorian figure to have in your collection. I was actually pretty happy with this one, but seeing them side to side, I realized how much better this old release could have been. Here he is next to Grogu. Here he is next to Bo-Katan. Here he is next to Ahsoka. Here he is next to the Armorer. Here he is next to Paz Vizsla. Here he is next to the Credit Collection Boba Fett figure. Here he is next to Luke Skywalker from The Mandalorian. And finally, here he is next to Moff Gideon. I definitely hope we get a new Moff Gideon with his get-up from his final episode, the one with that really cool helmet. I definitely hope Hasbro gives us one of those. So overall, I would highly recommend this. I think Hasbro did an outstanding job on this, and I'm blown away by it now that I have it in hand. I think this just goes to show what Hasbro can do with Star Wars The Black Series when they put a bunch of effort into a figure. This is easily worth $24.99 because he has a bunch of accessories, really nice paint, a great sculpt, and really good articulation. This improves the old Mandalorian figure in every way, especially with that fabric cape. And I think this might be one of the best Star Wars The Black Series figures that Hasbro has ever done. It is just a very awesome figure. So yep, definitely pick this up if you see it. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.